Hello everyone, it's Paige here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to root the eyelashes. So the first thing you need to do is select some really good quality mohair. I got this off of Facebook and I'll link that in the description box below. But the mohair that you use has to be very good quality and just use tiny sections at a time. The other thing you're going to need is a really good rooting tool, and I prefer this particular rooting tool. It's called a mushroom rooter, and I'll put that in the description box. You need some needles, and the ones I purchased from Bountiful Baby are pre-cut needles, and they are 42G crown needles. You cut your mohair into 3 sections and make sure you keep the cuticles facing up. So cut it in thirds and then line them up on a tray so that you can keep track of the direction that the hair is going. And this is good to know for rooting hair as well. Then you take a tiny small amount and you cut the ends so that it's nice clean ends. And when you lay them next to the baby's eye to begin rooting, you need to make sure you face your needle in the direction that it needs to go. I use a Prisma pencil to draw the line of where I want my rooting eyelashes to go, and this just gives you a guideline. And so right on the edge of the eyelid, not on the crease, I draw a line with my Prisma pencil. And then I begin taking the mohair in between my fingers and place it right on that edge. And then you want to make sure that the rooting tool that you're using goes in the direction that you want the eyelashes to go. So whatever direction you want those eyelashes to lay is the angle that your rooting tool needs to be in. And then you begin rooting the lashes right on the edge of that lid. If you get more than one hair per hole, which you probably will since you're using a crown needle, you need to pull those extra lashes out because they will start facing different directions. You'll see as you practice and work with the mohair, you'll start to recognize when you have inserted too much hair. And then you just carefully pluck out the extra hairs because you really only need one hair per hole. The reason why I use a crown needle is because it allows you to push multiple hairs into the hole at a time, and it's not quite as frustrating. Sometimes if you don't angle your needle the correct way, you won't get any hairs in those holes, and this way you're guaranteed that you'll get hairs in each and every one of your holes as you root the hair into the eyelashes. And then of course I'm just pulling the hair as I go, just straighten it out. And it's also very satisfying to root the lashes and be able to see the progress of the lashes as they are inserted into the baby's vinyl. And right now I am rooting a baby sculpt that the eyes have been taken out, and I'm rooting with an open-eyed sculpt. If you have a baby with closed eyes, then you probably would like to insert the lashes very carefully along that line where their lashes go. The same way you would do for an open-eyed sculpt. And so I'll make another video with a closed eye baby just so you can see the difference between the two. An open-eyed baby sculpt is a little bit more tricky to root the lashes, and so what I do, of course, is just practice and practice and practice, and just make sure you pull out the extra eyelashes so they don't get too clumpy. And then I also try to just insert one lash at a time, and it just takes practice, and it's really quite easy to do. You can master this technique pretty quickly if you're using the proper rooting tool. Now, if you decide to buy needles, or if you accidentally bought needles that you have to cut yourself, just use wire clippers and just cut the needle where the needle is a little bit sloping in. You'll notice on your uncut needles right where to cut them, and then you can insert them into your rooting tool. These particular needles, like I said, I got from Bountiful Baby, and they were pre-cut, and so that is a very good advantage to get the pre-cut ones. But we always make mistakes starting out with the reborning, and we sometimes will buy needles because we watched another video and we didn't realize that there were uncut, pre-cut needles and uncut needles. So if you accidentally get some needles that you have to cut yourself, it's okay, don't panic. You can just go get some wire cutters and easily cut or snap those needles. It's not too difficult to do. And then next time you'll get the ones that are pre-cut. Also, if you get really good at lashes, you can get a needle that doesn't insert so many lashes at once. One thing that I like to do when I'm rooting is I like to insert a few hairs in the back of the head, and it depends on the angle of the needle how many hairs are inserted, and then make a mark with a pencil on your rooting tool, and so that you'll remember which direction. So just practice with that with your needles, and you'll notice that some angles will put 3 hairs per hole, and some angles will just put the 1 with your rooting tool. And if you get the needles that have a fork end on the end, they're pretty easy to use as well. So my favorites are the crown needles and the fork needles. Just be aware that if you get needles with barbs, 6 barbs will put a lot of hair per hole, and then you'll be plucking quite a few hairs out per hole. But you'll guarantee to get your hair rooted with those types of barbs. I would recommend the 3 barb needle if you get barb needles. Here I'm just tweezing out some extra hairs, and you'll notice sometimes you'll accidentally insert some hairs through the water line, and you'll also need to tweeze those out. If you get any hairs through the eyelid by accident, you'll need to tweeze those out as well, because babies don't have hairs through their eyelids. It's very tricky, but you will notice once you get the hang of it how proud you are of the wonderful job that you did rooting your baby's eyelashes. Now I'm just plucking out the eyelashes to make sure there's only one lash per hole, and this is really simple to do. And so you'll need some good quality tweezers. I got my tweezers from Sally's Beauty, and I think that it's really helpful to have those tweezers that are easier to use, and so they grip the eyelashes real nice and the eyelashes won't slip out. And of course, just keep adding more eyelashes until you feel like your eyelashes look really full, because once you get them wet or put the clear mascara on them, they're not going to look quite as thick. And then when you're all done rooting your eyelashes, you need to squirt the eyelashes with water and comb them up in the direction so that they will curl up and look natural. Now when you're finished, squirt the eyelashes with water and smooth them up and let them air dry. Comb them with a baby comb and then let them dry before you trim the eyelashes. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.
갑자기 내게 나타나준 너, 난 아무 말도 할 수가 없었지.